Hi everyone, this is Diamond Princess. I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Today, I am going to talk to you about colorism and why I never experienced colorism throughout my life. So, there was like topics going on where people are people are talking about their experience with colorism and and while they were living in the black community, but also people are talking about other people's communities and such as the Hispanic Latin communities, and say they all are also colorist as well. uh they has uh, uh, I'll try to figure this out. Sorry guys, because it doesn't make any sense to me, because I live in the Hispanic community for like a decade now, and I never experienced colorism. I don't even experience colorism in the black community. And for people to say that, oh, Latinos and Hispanics are also colorists, they they have to explain and elaborate how did they come up with that conclusion on the Latino community being colorist. I In my life I never experienced colorism while living in the Latino community or the black community. Now, you guys can say that I am lying, but you guys never been around me or never hang out to me to say that I am not telling the truth. Does colorism exist? Yes, it does. It does exist. You hear it on the internet and you hear it in real life, but it never happened to me. I never had somebody to come up into my face and say, "Oh, you pretty for a dark skinned girl," even though I am brown. I never had that. I never had people come up to me that's lighter than me or another nationality telling me, "Oh, you're too dark. You're so black. People have to get a flashlight to see you," or something. Like, I never been teased for my skin tone. Never. Does that take away from other people's experience with colorism? No, I'm not dismissing other people's pain that been afflicted on them. But you cannot sit here and say that another group of people are experiencing colorism, especially when you never went to their country to live in those communities. And I'm not dismissing and saying that there isn't, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, people in Latin America, or Mexico or in the DR are colorist, when I never went to those countries to experience that. I don't even experience that in my own country where I live in a Hispanic community. Never in my life I had somebody tease me for my dark skin or calling me black or whatever. I never had that. And I understand that, listening to colorist rhetoric is very painful because you don't want nobody teasing you because of something that you cannot help. You cannot help the way you are being born, black women. You cannot help that, because That's just the way you were born. And we experience different things as colored people. But even living in the black community as a child, I never had a black boy come up and tell me, "Oh, you're too dark for me to have for a girlfriend," or "You're pretty to be a dark skinned girl," which I am not dark skinned. I am brown skinned. Okay. I am brown skinned. I never had that experience. And to be honest with you, I never seen a black girl go through that experience as well. They told me that they did have people, guys tell them that you're pretty for a dark skinned girl or you're too dark for me to date. But for me seeing that, I never seen that. To be honest with you, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist that other people's experienced it, but for my experience, I never had a guy that did not want me because I am black. I used to date black guys back in the day. I used to date black guys back in the day. I also date Hispanic guys and a few white guys. But never in my life they told me that I was too dark to date or to marry, or they didn't want to have dark skinned babies. And colorism is very offensive, especially when it's in your face. Because we all know that celebrities that are black, especially rappers, they usually, pick on black women that are darker skinned, and it really, irritate me, and it's very annoying because nobody deserves to be treated like that. No one deserves to be teased because of how dark their skin is. You can't help that. Such as Little Wayne, because he said this back in the early 2000s, where he said she's too dark, to oh my goodness, what did he say? I forgot those lyrics so quick, but it'll come back to me. But also recently, what's his name? Little Yachty, I think that's his name, saying that I don't want dark skinned babies that are dark like me. And he's a dark skinned dude. He's a dark skinned dude. And so did Kodak Black. He said that I don't want to have babies darker than me. And this is coming from self hate. When you hear people say that, especially with black people, it's self hate. They don't like what they see in the mirror. They don't like being dark skinned because they feel like they're not pretty, and that has to do with statistical racism, or them not seeing their own image in the media. But black women, we have to get over this trauma. It is not helping us holding on to this bitterness about what black men call us. We have to learn how to ignore what these guys say and not be triggered every time they say something bad about us. That just goes to show that we have not healed as a group. We have to heal. We have to seek some kind of counseling that will help us get through the pain and the drama that we have experienced in the black community. And yes, I am going to normalize therapy because therapy will help you in life and how to ignore people that are insecure themselves. Let's be real. They're insecure about their skin tone. That's why they say things like that because they don't like their skin tone. But I it's not to knock off nobody's experience. It's just that I never had to deal with that. And I've been around black people for most of my life. Most of my life. And I never had a a dark skinned man tell me, "Oh, you're too dark," or "I don't want to date you because of your skin tone." I never had that. I never had that. But I'm sure in the hell ain't light skinned. I am not light skinned at all. I am brown skin. I would say I'm in the medium tone brown skin. It's all how you guys receive it. We need to stop giving people attention. We need to stop promoting colorism because that's what black women and other races of women are doing, period. We're promoting it. And we are not holding these guys accountable for doing what they're trying to do because they're doing this because they want you to compete for them with it, which is not worth it because these guys know what they're doing. And it all starts from childhood where a guy or a boy will tell you, "Oh, you too dark for me. I date light skinned girls only." And when you hear that from your family members, family friends, or from stranger, that tends to irk you. And what happened is you start to lash out on black people or other races of people that are lighter than you. You tend to lash out on them you didn't because you're hurt because you do not have the light skin, the straight hair, and the lighter eyes, and that tends to get to you. So what happens to black women that gets darker skin? They lash out on the girls that really didn't do anything to them. I understand that you do get picked on by light skinned girls that are lighter than you. It's because they've been gassed up all their lives that they are pretty by their family members, close friends, and strangers. They've been gaslighted to say that, oh, they are pretty, 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 pretty. Oh, I love her hair. I love her skin. It all boils down, for to make people make you inferior. You At the end of the day, you have to love yourself because you lashing out on other people does not help. I think it comes from a certain family, really, because some black family use the term black as if it's a bad thing. Other use it as a symbol of beauty. Exactly. You have to define your own beauty. You have to define who you are as a person. I know it hurts. I know it hurts to have people calling you ugly or don't want to hang around you is because of your dark skin tone. I understand that, but I never experienced that. I always had black guys chasing after me. I had non-black guys chasing after me. I never had a problem with guys giving me attention. I never had that problem. But I understand black women are hurt. I feel your pain as a black woman. I feel your pain, what you go through. But you guys tolerate it. You guys are the ones that are keeping up with the promotion of of dark, of this whole colorism thing. It The only way it could stop If women start paying attention to it and ignore what these guys are saying, because they're only doing it because they feel bad about themselves, so they lash out on you, and then you'll feel as if you are the problem, or it's your skin tone that is the problem. You can't help the way you're born. I understand that. That's understandable. But you guys have to heal from all this nonsense, from all this, stupidity that is going on in the community. We have to talk to somebody that has confidence in themselves, that loves themselves. You have to talk to somebody that has self love. When you talk to somebody that has self love, they will pass that self love to you. That's and that's the way you can heal. We have to learn how to heal ourselves from our trauma. Make therapy a priority. Make it a priority for you. We all need help. I took therapy when I was a child because I had low self esteem about myself. I didn't love myself. I had problems, you know, recuperating and trying to fit in with other children. I had a hard time with that. Did I still make friends? Yes, I still made friends, but deep down inside, I had a problem with myself. And therapy helped me move along into healing myself and to recognize that I don't need validation from other people. I need validation for myself. It's all about me and how I feel about myself. Uh, I can relate to them to an extent with racism in general in life, but I never understood why assert someone else's standards on oneself. I think it has to do with how their parents raised them to feel. Exactly. It's all the parenting because how your parents feel is going to be projected on you. If you hear your dad always talking down on your mother, oh, you're why you have to be this dark, why you have to be overweight, why can't you why can't you keep up with your hair? These are the uh, these are the abuses that people see go through when their parents are dealing with each other. And when you see that, the children tend to act down on it. Have you guys ever seen the Fantasia Bruno story that came out like a decade ago? And I saw that movie like twice. So the singer Fantasia, when she was a child, she faced it a lot of colorism from lighter skinned women, saying laughing at her because she's too dark and nobody was gonna want her. So this followed her into her adulthood. And she, was so traumatized by it, it made her feel bad. But what made her feel good about herself was her singing abilities. That's what gave her the success that she needed. However, She still carries that colorism with her because she has not healed from that. Same thing with Little Kim. Little Kim faced colorism all her life. Her dad used to call her all sorts of names. Guys will tell her that she's not pretty enough because she had dark skin. And she carried that with her. And Little Kim was a good brown skinned girl. She was pretty back in the day. And I hated what she looks like now. She is so unrecognizable with all that plastic surgery to her face, bleaching her skin, wearing blonde hair. That's the because of the effects of what she been through all, for most of her life. With Biggie, she used to date Biggie back in the day. I didn't know that as a child until my adulthood, but she used to date Biggie back in the day, and they used to date until he got with Faith Evans, that was a light skinned woman. And that really got to Little Kim because she felt that she cannot measure up to women that are lighter than her. And the one thing that I heard from Little Kim, and this was like a few years ago, when she said that I am a black woman. Oh, sorry, excuse me, I got that backwards. I am a Mexican woman trapped in a black girl's body. You know how much she went through? No, like I'm not that dismissive to the point where we have to dismiss her problems because you can see it through her photos over time. Little Kim went through it. She really did. And it changed her appearance because she did not love herself. In my experience, that the thing I saw people being racist to black people, but I also saw how non-black people always assert how beautiful my mother was. I never had that idea that whiter was better. I came from the black community where there's hardly any white folks. Never had that experience because we did not live in a white community. We did. I did not face racism like that because I wasn't around white people like that. The only white people that I've been around was my fourth grade teacher, and she wasn't even racist. She never called me out my name or called other black kids out her name. She was really nice. Um, Kim was beautiful. Now she looks scary. Her natural beauty was her natural strength and beauty. Exactly. I love Little Kim back in the day. She was the badass. Faith Evans tried to do the same thing as Little Kim. It's just less exonerated. Quite clearly, Biggie had an issue of not liking himself, but the problem is black women that try to appease him, men like this. Exactly. And we have to do better than that. Little Kim never sought the help that she needed because she felt like the lighter I am, the prettier I will get, which is not always the case. Are the same mindset. Exactly. Because Biggie, he's from New York. So he faced this, when he sees stuff on the movies and the billboards, he see white women that are lighter than him. And that kind of brainwashes, people that are darker to feel that they're not good enough. They are not worthy of, I want to say not worthy. It's just that they feel like they're not good looking enough because they are not hold to the same beauty standards as white men and white women. definitely white women, because white women were all over the billboards. They were the love interest most of the time, and that was hard to grasp. But for me, because I came from a community of black people, that really didn't bother me that much. Did I want long hair? Yes, I wanted long hair. But the colorism aspect of it, no. I was like immune to that when I was a kid. I was used to seeing white people as leads, so it really didn't bother me that much. It really didn't. Until the 90s, where there's like mostly sitcoms that put black women as the love interest in these movies and sitcoms. If you yeah, but when after the early 2000, that's when the beauty standard switched again, and it went to Latino women who became the standard of beauty. Hair length isn't specified to a race. There are tons of black women with long, beautiful, long 4C hair. Exactly, exactly. I didn't realize that when I was a kid. I didn't, because I didn't see it like that. I didn't see too many black girls with long hair. However, you know, I came when I got older, I came to realize that I can grow my hair out. It's just that I was never taught to know how to take care of it. Yeah, I see that. But as colorism, no, I never faced colorism from neither race. And after I moved from the black community, I moved into the middle class, where there's a mixture of white, Asian, Mexicans, and a sprinkle of blacks. Okay. Never dealt with colorism. Never. I never, you know, I never have been told that you're too dark for you to be my girlfriend, or you're too or you're pretty to be a black girl. I never had that. I had when I was a girl, and my first experience. I first got attention when I was 11 years old. I had big boobs when I was 11. I had big boobs, and I was getting my shape in. My shape, I had curves, and I was getting attention from not only boys but grown men. It was the grown men were creepy. Grown men are creepy. But I was getting like, a lot of attention from boys. And I never had a problem. I had my first boyfriend when I was when we were freshmen in high school. And he was Vietnamese and white. His mom was Vietnamese. So he had a crush on me. Okay, and I would never expect to have a boyfriend in high school, but I did. It only lasted for like a month, because I moved from that area. But he told his mother about me, and his mother was Vietnamese, right? And he told her that he had a girlfriend, and she was like, okay. And when he told her that she was a black girl, his mom went off. She went off on him, because she would never imagine her son being with a black girl. Like, let me be honest with you, this guy loved girls, period. He never discriminate based off of skin tone. He loved girls, period. And he happened to choose me as his girlfriend. But I don't. I didn't know Biggie Smalls wasn't Black American but Jamaican. That country has a long history of skin bleaching issues. I never knew he was Jamaican either. This is the first time I heard he was Jamaican. Oh, that's not good. I'm sorry, the grown man part. It happens, girl. It was just cat calling. That's it. They didn't follow me. They didn't harass me or anything, but it was still creepy. It was still creepy. But my first boyfriend, he was white and Asian, a non-black man, a non-black man. So yeah, he was my first boyfriend. So when he told me what his mother said, I was crushed because I would not expect his mother to be racist like that. I told him, you know, I felt uncomfortable with that because, that's very hurtful to know that his mom does not want him to date a black woman, but his mom had, messed around with a white man and he was born, but I, I did, that didn't bother me like that because I know that we liked each other. And oh my God, to be a teen, he introduced me to like foreplay or something like that. And well, I don't know, not well, yeah, foreplay. Girl, look, let me tell y'all something that I never told anyone in my life. Girl, he was, this boy was he was a tit boy, okay? He loved titties, okay? He loved titties. So me being very developed, he has sexual experience and I don't know, like I didn't ask him because, I was a kid. I didn't know where he got it from. But girl, we went to a private area, right? And I I put up my shirt so he could see my breasts. And and he started sucking on them. That was my first experience. You know, that was my first experience. We tried to have sex, but I was like, nah, no, nah. I was like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. But if I was still with him to this day, we probably wouldn't have been married because I loved that boy. I really loved him. I loved him. Okay. I love that boy. He was so cute. But yeah, so my second boyfriend, he was Mexican. We really didn't like, do, much. You know, at that time I really didn't want to have sex. It was something that I never, want, sex to, distract me from, my school. And I didn't want to get pregnant or catch a disease. Was I horny? Yeah, I was horny, but I knew how to control myself. I knew how to control myself. So, I did have non black boys as boyfriends. I can attract all kinds of men, but oh goodness, you know. But anyways, colorism wasn't really a problem to me, and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, if you guys, I hear art, art. Oh my god! But art, he's sitting up here laughing. But black women, if you're saying that you are attracting non-black men, you're sitting up here, you say on YouTube, you're attracting non-black men, and that they're coming on to you, then colorism is not a big factor. It wasn't a big factor in these communities, no way, because men in other communities were taught to love each other and love women, period. And I never experienced colorism like that. A kind of put off dating until I had a bachelor's degree. That's why I just think, but I really dated white and Hispanic men generally. Oh, okay. But totally relate with putting off sex at younger age. Exactly, because the reason why I did that, because I saw girls at my school pregnant, and I never seen and girls pregnant in my life. And I started seeing that during my sophomore year. I'm like, damn, what the what they've been doing over the summer? Like, first, the girl wasn't pregnant, and when you come back to school, she's with a full round belly. It's like, oh my God. Like, I can't imagine myself being 15 and carrying a baby. I couldn't imagine myself like that. I couldn't imagine myself becoming a single mother like that. I couldn't, because I was doing well. I was passing my classes, and I really wasn't, sex wasn't really, something that came over me. Oh, did y'all tell you guys that I also had, teachers hit on me, even though, they never say it, but I did have teachers, hit on me too, and they were non-black men. I did, have teachers hit on me, but I was like, seeing teachers, hit on you. That's like, no, that's a no, no. That's a no to the nah to the nah nah nah. I wasn't even into grown men like that. I was into boys my own age, even though there were teachers that were cute. I just couldn't get myself to, nah, no. I liked the boys more my age, in my age group. I talked to a transgender old people talking about really bad abusive relationships simply because they were desperate. I don't know. It put me off and made me more interested in school than guys. It worked, huh? Or else you would have been became a teenage mom. Like, I started hearing about sex ed when I was a preteen, learning about diseases and becoming pregnant at a young age. And that's what scared me when I was a kid, just being a teen mom, having to raise a baby that you can't even raise yourself. You can't take care of yourself. Why would you even take care of a baby? You can't even work at that age. And it gets hard too. People are, these kids are treating babies as if they're giving birth to baby dolls. But it's not true. Oh, they're loud. It's loud. So I Oh goodness, that's loud. But anyways, I couldn't imagine myself being a teen mom. That's too much. Just listening to you telling on yourself. I know. Thank God he didn't go to third base though. Because, he was trying to get down there, but I was like, nah. I wasn't into boys. I was meaning like when I was in college. Well, it's not that you weren't into men, you weren't into boys. It's just that they wasn't your main focus at that point. Your focus was to get an education first. That was your main focus. It's not like, you put them first because the one thing when you get in college is about, what's the first thing that people get do when they get into universities? They want to have sex. Sex, 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 sex. They go to each other's dorms and they get it on. Good for them. But what about your, degree that you're going for? Like, come on, you gotta focus on that. You gotta focus. Um, didn't grow up too fast. I tell my 14-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter that exactly. We all need to tell our children, have a sit down with them, and to me, the good time to talk about sex with your children is at age 11. No younger than that. Age 11, that's when you have to sit down and talk to your children. When you talk to children about people touching them, is when they come to the age of understanding. Okay? You have to tell your kids when you what you tell your kids, you don't let people touch you down there. No, 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 excuse me. Sorry, I have to sneeze. You let your kids know nobody is supposed to touch them down there. Nobody's supposed to touch them down here, up here on their chest. Nobody is supposed to touch them, period. The people are supposed to keep their distance. And if somebody touched them down there, they have to tell you what's going on. Because there's too many predators out there that are feeling comfortable touching young children under the age of 7 because they feel that they can get away with that. We have to teach our kids not to touch, not to have nobody touch them down there. Um, well, as a teen, I just really shy. I was shy too. I was shy too when I was a teen. I had to sit down and talk at like 4, and I think, but what was appropriate at that age? You have to tell your kids at an early age not to touch them anywhere that makes them feel uncomfortable. If a grown adult, even a child, touch them when they're not supposed to be touched, they're supposed to say, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't like that. You know, that's how you teach your child. Don't do that. I don't like that. You tell your child that because you're supposed to teach them at a young age first. Do not let nobody touch you down here. That is a no no. Unless it's a medical doctor. Unless it's a medical doctor with a license. But other than that, if they're not a doctor, they are not supposed to touch you down there. Period. I don't care if it's a school nurse. The school nurse is not supposed to touch you down there, and they're not supposed to touch you in your chest area. Okay? My first encounter was with a non-black dude. I think he was Mexican. I can't, say his race right now because I didn't know what he was. So he started touching me on my breast. He started touching my breasts. And I felt very uncomfortable. And I told my friend and I told my grandma what happened. And that really shocked me because what in the hell is a grown man doing touching teenagers? Teenagers, what? Like, you're not, you have these predators out here, and it doesn't matter what race they are, they're predators touching young girls, and that's scary. That is super scary. And and another thing, I had guys whistle at me too, like two white guys whistle at me. They will whistle at me every time I got home. It was creepy. It was very creepy. And I will see them every time I get to school. Every time. We have to look out for our children, let them know, have them carry a whistle, like let them carry a whistle, and when they're around a person that that's trying to kidnap them, have them blow that whistle and say stranger danger, stranger danger, stranger danger, and have that blow them whistle. Hold on, I have a whistle somewhere. Give me 1 second. Yeah, stranger danger. Like, we learn that when we are children, okay? Because that let us be aware that there is somebody that is not familiar with us trying to take us off the street away from our parents. And that is scary. And it got even worse when I became an adult. Kids were being snatched up from the streets and never seen by their parents again. It was getting that bad because things like cops really didn't have the technology like they are now. Even if they have the technology now, it still takes time to look for that person. So here's my whistle. So here's what you do. When you encounter somebody and they're a stranger and they're trying to kidnap you off the street, this is what you tell your child to do. Oh my god, my whistle's not working. Oh my god, oh my god. Let me see if I can fix it. That's hold on. But that is scary out here now. I'm even afraid to jog. Oh my god. Hold on a second, y'all. Let's try to get this whole. Well, at least I got it. But, well, at least you guys get the point. That's you always have your child to carry a whistle on them at all times. This whistle don't even work anymore, but I carry this whistle on me just in case somebody's trying to get funny with me. But that's how you do it. That's how you do it. But back to the subject because I'm getting off of colorism. I'm getting off the subject of colorism. I was on Miss Elite's channel talking about this, and I told her that I never experienced colorism in my life. It is not me trying to be funny. It's not me trying to be funny or thinking that I'm better than everybody else. No, it's not. It's not that. It's just that I had nobody tell me how, dark and ugly I was. I never had that experience. I had no trouble getting guys. And black women, period, should not have trouble getting guys either. If you get attention from white men, even black men or other non-black ethnicities, there is nothing wrong with you. It's just that people find you attractive, physically attractive. Okay, they see your beauty, they see the way you walk, they see the way you talk. It's attracting to them. These guys love women, period. They love women, period. Thank you, Randy. They love women, period. It doesn't matter what race the guy is, because you will hear in the manosphere that these guys say that that they don't like dark skinned women, but they actually do. They do. They love dark skinned women. Give me 1 second, y'all. Ugh. Sorry about that, y'all. My daily harvest just came in. So yeah, I can't wait to get my new set of daily harvest. And I lost a lot of weight. Like y'all wouldn't even imagine. I lost a lot of weight, and it's very exciting. I'm very happy for myself. So what I was trying to get to. Yeah, colorism. Most guys in the community have no problem getting a black woman, to marry them. Colorism, it shouldn't even be an issue nowadays. It shouldn't even be an issue for black women, because we're saying that other communities are practicing that. I don't see it. I live in the Latino Hispanic community, and I never face colorism from these communities. Never. Not even in the black community. I never experienced colorism like that. I never I never experienced colorism in person. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm actually saying. I never experienced colorism in person, because I never had little boys tell me that I was too dark or whatever. Black boys actually played with me. They actually played with me, and I became their friend. You know, we got along great. Like we didn't have no problems. None at all. We had no problems. None at all. I never had no problems making friends, even though I suffered low self esteem by the time I got into middle school. However, that did not stop me from making friends. Uh, I, I attracted Mexican boys, white boys, because my first boyfriend was white and Asian. I had crushes. I had crushes. But anyways, black woman, yeah, I know what you mean. I've been called a colors by many black women on YouTube. I'm not. Um, I don't like. I haven't seen you been colorist either, Randy. But you do troll. I can say that you do troll, but I never seen you been colorist. I'm gonna admit that I never seen that. I never seen that, but you do troll. But hey, that's just that's just you. Only date black women and Afro Latinas. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see you, Randy. I see you. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna just sit here and dismiss other black women praying that did go through that. Whether they're light skin, brown skin, dark skin, I'm not gonna dismiss other people's pain like that because that hurts. Colorism hurts. Racism hurts. That hurts. And I know it's not fair. I know it's not fair to, you know, to feel that way or to people to pick on you just because, you are dark skinned or you are light skinned. It's not fair. And I understand that it is not fair. But you guys have to learn how to ignore these trolls in person. You have to love yourself and put yourself first, not to care enough what other people think about you. It is not about them, it's about you. Okay? It's not what they think, it's what you think about yourself. And if you have low self esteem about yourself, you're going to think low about yourself. But if you have confidence in yourself, you're going to have that confidence in yourself where you like, oh, I don't give a fuck about what other people think of me. Because other people's opinion doesn't matter. It's opinion. It's opinion. Okay, so we can't, sit here and pretend colorism doesn't exist. It does exist. It does exist. However, it's up to the people to stop colorism. And the only way you can stop colorism is to silence it, ignore it, pretend like it's not there. Because if we continue to address it, because we do address colorism do needs to be addressed. However, we need to ignore these damn celebrities, especially the Danny Lays, the Little Waynes, the Little Yachties, and the Kodak Blacks out there. We need to shut them down because the only they only saying things about black women is to trigger you. They love to trigger you. Okay, and we need to ignore these people because they're not important. Okay, they are not important and they should never be important to you because you don't know them. Even if you do, even if you did, why would it even matter what they say? Their opinion should not even matter to you. What should matter is you. You should love yourself. You should love your skin you're in, the hair that you have, the looks that you have. You should love that. Because not everybody is going to look like a Tyra Banks. Not everybody is going to look like a Beyonce. Because it's not realistic. It's not realistic. We're fooling ourselves when we do that. It's not realistic to look like a certain person. Even Beyonce is bleaching her skin. Even though she was light skinned from birth, she bleaches her skin to look like a white woman. If you look at her Super Bowl, because she performed in the Super Bowl in 2013, if you look at the advertising for Pepsi, when she's dressed up like a queen, she has a crown, and she's all dressed up, and she's in a room full of other people. Her skin is white, like actually bleached out white with blonde hair, and that's creepy. That is very creepy, and it sends the wrong message to the girls out there, especially dark skinned girls. I remember when seeing Color Girls, well, see the light skinned girls, the documentary, and Raven Simone pointed out that she had to tan her skin to look darker because that's what the producers want. They wanted her to become darker. When she first started That's So Raven, she was lighter. But towards the end of the season, she gained a lot of weight and she was darker. Okay? And that's because the producers wanted her to look like that. And I never noticed that until now. I never noticed that she was tanning herself like that to please an audience. When Raven Simone was the perfect skin tone, she was perfect. She never needed to darken her skin. But that's one of the things that that happened. And I have to say that, but that's also colorism too. If you have to have like you have to take a lighter skinned woman and make her dark. That's colorism too. Zoe Saldana played Nina Simone, and she was a light brown. She was light brown. Zoe Saldana is a light brown Latina. Okay, a light brown Latina. And I think she's Dominican, I believe. Dominican. And they had to darken her skin and give her a big synthetic nose to look closer to Nina Simone. And I didn't think that was right. I didn't think that was right. They couldn't have picked India Ari, Fantasia, or somebody around her complexion. Okay? Somebody around that. Dark skinned women need to work on being more nice. That's the only issue with y'all are too mean. Well, we're mean because black men are mean. Okay? That's the issue. If black men stop being mean, black women will stop being mean. It's like I said on Miss Elite's post. The men are the leaders. They lead, the women follow. So whatever the men do, the women assimilate to. Okay? So if the men are mean, the women are going to be mean. And is it an individual choice? Yes, it is. Because that person is responsible for their action. But you also have guys out there that are mean as well. And you also gonna have women that are mean because that's what the guy are looking for. They're looking for women that are mean just like them. So you're going to have mean people. That's just the way it is. You're going to have mean people in every race, the Latin race, the white race, the Indian race, the Native American race, all races. You're going to have mean people. People are going to be mean. So that's just life. I don't know what to say about that. That's just life. Anyways, I gotta get going. I gotta go back to Miss Elite's stream. I was on her stream earlier, and I wanted to, I need to continue her rant with Crystal Swirls. If you guys want to join, go ahead and join her live stream. Type in Miss Elite because she's going in on Crystal Swirls. But like comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. You have a nice day.